Sylvester Bishop, innkeeper, once again with another session of the Tavern topics. Today's topic is going to be 18th century stemware, and it's one that interests me greatly, although I can tell you up front that any of this stemware, except for maybe of a couple, would only be served, any liquor at my establishment would only be served to my wealthiest customers because of the cost of these particular items. The middlings, etc., would, they would have their own vessels. But nonetheless, let's get to the stemware. First in our list is the firing glass. Notice the really thick base on it. This was made to take a shot and then smack it down on the table as probably hard as you could without breaking the glass. Something like this. The next, we have a typical teardrop baluster wine glass. And this is a monster. It's a big one. It's for a big drinker or possibly a big gentleman, so to speak. This is all hand blown. It has a folded foot and would be a pleasure for any man who had any glass to drink from. Number 3 is another Baluster style without the teardrop, champagne or sherbet glass. Another folded foot, a nice glass to drink champagne if you're a mind to do so. Next, we have one of my personal favorites, the flip glass. And this one is a rather crudely made one. It has a broken pommel on the bottom, which you can see. And that is a typical glass that you would drink literally any beverage from. Our next piece of stemware is a plain trumpet style wine glass. Very, very simple, no fanciness to it, typical of the 18th century. Next, another type of wine glass, a trumpet style. And trumpet style, I say because of the shape of the bell that the wine would be poured into. Now, after about 1735, the invention of the air twist or the opaque twist glass came about, and it was molded in two pieces. First, the stem and the base, and then the drinking part on the top. This one is a really, really nice cordial, typical of the 18th century, and it is an opaque twist. In other words, that is real cotton on the inside there that was stretched and molded into that stem, and then again, like I said previously, the bowl was attached after. It's a very nice one. Next, another opaque twist glass, bell-shaped, with a knop, which is the swelled part in the center of it. You can always tell price-wise, the knops usually is a big indicator of what the original price was because they're harder to make and more expensive. Next, we have a different type of opaque cordial, this one with a very long stem. Again, for a cordial. And last but not least, we have just the simple air twist, trumpet style. And this one, I think, has 2 twists in it. You can always tell the better ones because they have more twists in them. This one is a fairly simple one. And if any of these are ever found here in the vicinity, they will date whatever they're found in to about the 1730, 1738. Last but not least, originally we went from a bottle to these drinking vessels. Okay? Now this bottle looks rather crude on the table with all this fancy stemware. So instead of doing that, the bottle, which we all know what it serves, the contents of it would be poured into a nice decanter, much like this ringed one from the 18th century, with a bottle tag of rye on it. So we're serving up some good rye, would be poured into the decanter, and then the decanter would either sit on the table and be served that way, or it would be brought to the table and drinks poured from it, just to add a little bit more ambiance. So there you have it. These are very typical 18th century stemware. I hope you enjoyed this topic, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.